Dario, a tough one to take today. How do you sum up that match?
A tale of two halves. I think very disappointing first half. We weren't there for whatever reason. I think we sort of tried to force the issue. Technical errors, decision making was all wrong. We probably, in terms of our effort and intensity, we're a bit down from where we were in the last few weeks, and especially if you match it from the first half to the second half, there was a big difference. And then, I think it played right into their hands, who were just basically waiting for that moment for us. And look, they worked extremely hard, so we had to probably manage it a little bit better early on. I think we were maybe too eager to try get that to start to dominate, try to get in their half, try to maybe score that first goal. And played right into their hands, and a little bit of our own doing. And then even when we had a couple opportunities, we just weren't able to put them away. A couple of changes at half time, also a bit with the system, but still similar when we were in possession, and they made it better, but it was too much of a hill to climb.
Does that make it a little bit frustrating, because we know the levels we can reach and we really showed that in the second half, but we didn't turn up for that in the first?
Yeah, and look, the disappointing thing was we sort of spoke about that all week after, now we've had two really good performances, two positive results. And we're coming today, we're on a good pitch, we could play our football, but then sometimes, against the transitional teams, you can fall into a sense of it feels maybe a little bit too easy, where you're able to play, you're not under too much pressure, and then we just started to, the distances between us were massive. We were looking for passes that weren't there, and they were quick to close those lanes, and once they win it, they're frightening once they get going, and they exploited that well in the first half. We nullified them a bit in the second, and in the end created some chances, but again, wasn't meant to be.
I know it's a bit of a disappointing result, but I guess that shows the character of the squad to get 2 goals in the second and have that fighting mentality, but just not our day.
Yeah, look, it's a hard one. It's sort of, it was there, sort of what we spoke about, what we worked on. The picture was there, so that's sort of the hardest takeaway, that the first half should have been better. And whether it was mental or physical, again, we can't say physical, because in the second half we lifted the intensity, we were there, and so it can't really be down to fatigue. So I think just for whatever reason, we just lacked a little bit of that going forward. Maybe we were too worried about trying to keep it in areas where they preferred, and the times when we done it, it was quite good, but then just not for long enough periods. Well, then in the second half we really pinned them back. We were able to then control those transitions a lot better, because the distances are a lot further. And but again, we have to learn from this, because we know we've got a very tough game coming up against Manchester on the weekend back at home.
What will those preparations look like ahead of that game, and hopefully keeping that unbeaten win at home going?
Look, same as usual preparation. We'll assess. We know they've got another game midweek, so we'll have a look at the last 4 games, especially with the managerial change. So we'll just see if there's been any sort of adaptations or tweaks. But look, we know that they're going to come in desperate as well with results how it went today. That gap has sort of increased for them to be in Europe next season. So we know we've got a tough game. They're coming off 4 very tough battles in different competitions. So we'll have a look. We know that they're a top footballing team, that they'll make us suffer at times, but we'll see how we can make it as difficult as possible, and we look forward to that challenge.
Maddie, a tough one to take this afternoon. What's your initial assessment of that game?
It was difficult. I think the team showed great character to get back into the match in the second half, but we're ultimately disappointed with how we came out. We played more into their game plan, and in this league you get punished. But again, great character to fight back, and we probably could have nicked a goal at the end to maybe tie it.
It was very much a game of 2 halves. Would you say, what would you identify or pinpoint the challenges in the first half that allowed them to play their game, as you say?
I think we were just a bit sloppy. I think their goals came from our mistakes. We know that they're extremely good in transition, and again, it showed 3 mistakes, 3 goals. We're disappointed in that. But I think we got back into the game, settled a bit, going into the end of the first half. And then we made some changes structurally in the second half, and settled more into the game, and decided to play how we wanted to play the Brighton way. And we're able to get back into the game, and again showed great character for the girls that came on as well to impact the game as they did. We're disappointed, but again, there's some positives definitely to take.
Like you said, came out fighting in the second half. What was said in the changing room to ignite that fighting and winning mentality?
I think we know our quality. I think we knew that we can get back into the game. You have to believe that when you look around the squad and you see the caliber players we have. So we knew that we could create chances, but we need to create more. We need to show a bit of fight because Leicester showed a bit more of that in the first half. And you could see that when we did that and we're committed to sticking to the game plan, sticking with each other, that we can get back into any game. So again, some positives to take, but ultimately we need to come out fighting from the first minute.
Would you say that's probably the most frustrating part, is that we know the levels we can reach, but we waited to the second half to probably fuel it as much as we could have? Yeah,
absolutely. And I think it's disappointing because we've had such positive results this month and we wanted another one today. And we probably should have had one. But again, it's ups and downs in football. That's normal. We pick ourselves up and we go again next week.
And as you say, it is disappointing, but we're still currently fifth. There's a lot of positives to take and go in fighting for the remaining games that we have.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, again, we back ourselves in all the matches that we have left to get something out of those games. But it's important that we show up from the first minute, play our style, and are committed to the game plan. And we can see from our results across the whole season that when we do that, we've got a really great chance of getting 3 points.